Hey my YouTube friends, another video on the Nova here. So last time we finished up the metalwork on the floor pans and then finished it up by getting some paint on the bare metal. So my next project was going to be putting on seam sealer, so I'll show you the result of that. Let's take a look here. So got all my seam sealer down. I currently have a heater running in here and I have my sound deadener sitting here to also warm up. But as you can see, everything's ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead and start sticking this these tiles down. They're pretty simple. Plenty of videos out there showing this. I've got that and got my roller here to help rolling that in, and I got a pair of cutters that I have to do any trimming then. So I'm just gonna start at the front, work my way to the back. Here's another view of the finished floor. Pretty happy with the way this came out. Now I didn't have enough to go up the back behind the seat, which I really would have liked to have done that. I'll show you this kit that I got from Amazon. You can see it covers 36 square foot. So here you can see what 36 square foot covers. It basically covers from the front floor pans back to the seat pans, underneath the seat pans. That's going to be the max if you're talking about a X-Gen Nova. So if you're a bigger car, you're probably not going to get under the back seat. If you're a smaller car, well, you might be able to go up through the back then. But pretty happy with this product. I had to pay for it. It wasn't sent to me or anything like that. I may end up buying some more so I can do that back half when I have these door panels off, or even the headliner out. I don't know, I might need to do the roof too. We'll see. We'll see. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to tackle that package tray area, and one, I'm going to have to get up in the loft. Before I replace the back package tray, I need to get up on my shelves. I think it's over on that side. So I've got quite a collection of things. I've got Jeep parts, I've got extra engine parts, Pontiac parts. That should be all the 75 Nova parts. Up on top is general, whatever I left from leftovers. And these shelves are all things that I eventually will be taking to swap meet. With the exception of there's a couple parts hiding in there. There's a set of Vortec heads, Vortec intake, some aluminum valve covers. So those things don't go, but a lot of this other stuff is going to be going for future swap meet. So I got to get up here on the ladder and dig through that. Well, I managed to get that back deck that I got from the junkyard off my shelf. So I got a lot more of it than I actually need. I should only need this section right in here, because I had taken out as much as I could at the time when I was in the yard. Looks like I did use my Sawzall for the bulk of it, so that's good. But the speaker area is a bit rough. We'll have to see what mine look like, if we need to consider those or not. I think what I'm going to end up doing to make this job a little bit easier, of course I am going to take the back window out, which is going to give me complete access to what I need. But I'm also thinking I might take the trunk lid off then as well. That'll allow me to stand in that space, and I'll be able to get around the molding pretty easily, so that way I shouldn't break anything. And it'll also make it easier when I'm doing my welding. I can stand in there and weld above that. So I think that's the next thing I'm going to do, is pull this trunk lid off. Well, I got the trunk lid off, so now I got to climb up inside of here and see if we can get this windshield trim off. Okay, I'm going to set you guys up here. All right, hopefully you can see. Sorry about all the wind chime sounds. My patio is right outside of my garage, and it's extremely windy out there today and cold. So it's gonna be a bit noisy. And I'm just drinking my coffee as well. Okay, so I'm gonna be using this tool. And this is so I can get up underneath the molding. There's a clip back in here, and what I'm gonna be doing is prying back part of that clip to release this molding. And I'm going to do the top molding first, because maybe I should show you right side up. I'm going to be doing this top molding because, as you can see, this one here slides into it. These down here overlap. So this is going to be my last one because it gets overlapped. And because the way this slides in, I'm going to lift this, and then I should, by the way that's already sticking up, should be able to separate that. So we'll find out if I'm right. There we go. I got that one popped. Now let's come back down here to this other one. I just wasn't quite aggressive enough. These clips on these are plastic on some of your earlier models. You get back into the 60s and they'll be metal. And those a lot of times you can reuse as metal ones, but these plastic ones, they're at this age, they're just all dried out. They're not gonna be worth anything, they're just gonna snap. But again, I don't wanna do any damage to my stainless trim. There we are. That's what I thought, so there we go. Slid it out from the side, slid it out from the center, so there's one removed. I'll take you in to show you these clips. These are what these clips look like. So that molding sits right over top of that, and then all I'm doing is trying to come in here to get a hold of that and pull it back. So that's all we're doing on each of these. And like I say, that one there's already snapped off. So they're gonna need to be replaced. So now that I've got the top and the side pieces off, which by the way you can see all the pine needles from West Virginia all collected up inside of there. I had a hard time getting this lower because the sealant is all around that clip. That was a mess. Anyway, so to get the lower off, it's a little bit different. You're gonna have these slide clips that are in here. And I probably can't do this one-handed, but I'm just simply gonna take this tool and a small little mallet and tap at this lip, and then that should move it forward so I can come to this opening and pop them off. So as you can see, this is what these clips look like. Slid each one of these out. So now this piece, the trim should come right off. Oh boy, and it's also collected a lot of pine needles. Yikes. All right, so the next thing I'm going to end up doing is getting, well, I'm going to probably clean all this first. And then we're going to get my tool out to remove this glass. One of the other things I want to point out is that little rectangle. Those there are set blocks, and that's to position this windshield right where it should be. This would be something from the factory, and you're going to reuse those then as well. So I do have the replacement, it's called butyl, the rubber that goes in here. So I have enough to do the front and rear windshields. So we won't have to worry about that until we're getting to the paint phase. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this cleaned up, and then I'm gonna get my tool for cutting this glass out. So this is the tool I'll be using to pull the windshield then, and it has a small cutter blade on it, which is reversible, so you can pull this. Actually, you can take the pull handle off so you can use it in different directions. Anyway, I was gonna start using it, and just as I put it in, I noticed if I lift, you can see a lot of this bottom seal isn't even attached anymore. Now I don't want to pry too much because it could break the glass, but yeah, that wasn't sealing very well. Let's see if this side's loose too. Yep, that whole bottom is not even attached anymore. So I guess we'll start working down from the side here. Gonna lay that down in and try to cut that in there. Not an exact science, especially when you got this much crap sticking out like that. It's hard to get down and into that space. So I may end up coming back in here with a utility knife and scoring and getting a lot of that out of the way, and then I might try to cut through that. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. To start this, I'm gonna use my utility knife, and I'm gonna try and make some cuts down through this just to get rid of some of this excess that's sticking out here because I can't get my blade in there. I probably need to get a sharper blade, but I think you get the idea of what I'm doing here. Just keep coming down through, keep scoring it. If I do this with a couple different passes, I should be able to get down through that. Now that I've cut through that, I'm going to get this excess up and out of the way. I may have a few areas that I still have to separate, but for the most part this is coming free. Now, I should be able to get this turned up and in that. Flat with the glass. You don't want to pry at all on this. You will break it. There we go. And if you look, you can probably just see the blade right in there. And again, I am just going to twist it just a little bit as I pull. I got the trunk hinge punching me in the chest there. There we go. Now we got some motion going here. All right, I'm gonna have to get outside the car and pull on that a little bit better. Well, I managed to get 3 sides of it done. You can see it moving here. So it's just the top that has to be done, but it's really tight getting up in here. So I've been trying with my cutter and it's hard to get in. So I may end up having to take a utility knife and separating some of that as well. Technically, I really didn't need to do anything to save this glass. I do not want it. I don't know if anyone else is going to want it. In fact, if you would like this back glass, it's free. You're welcome to it. You can just come and pick it up. But I'm going to do the best I can to get it out in one piece without breaking it. Well, I think that's going to do for tonight. I'm pretty beat and it's getting late, so I'll wrap this video up. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Drop a comment. What your experience has been with removing glass. Have you ever done it before? What have you run into? Any other methods that work better? I know I've used a small piece of wire before. It was on my 75 Corvette to get that glass out. It was very flat and hard to get up in there, and I actually used wire, and that actually worked out fairly well. It was tough though, but it did work. Again, I want to say thank you for watching the series here. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button. I greatly appreciate that. If you like what's going on here, give me a thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching.